Welcome, gang. It's Delta here from Delta's Gaming with a very special guest, Pinky. Pinklatex, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
We are going to do the part one Pimp My Build with good old Pinky over here. So, Pinklatex, tell me a little bit about your character and your experiences in ESO.
Okay, well, my character, I love her a lot, so I hope you can help her. But she's right now, she's a sorcerer, okay? And
Okay,
I
sir?
played as a healer
Healer, okay?
for for a while up until about vet 2 probably, and she's vet 11 right now. And I didn't love being super squishy and like healing and stuff. I didn't love it. So I switched over to more of kind of almost like a Night Lady build. So she's an archer and she's got a two-hander on the other bar,
Okay.
medium armor, vampire. She dies a lot, like a lot. So,
Okay, we can fix
well,
that.
yeah, like I can keep her going for a little bit, but like I don't get the best damage out of her no matter what. Like all the combos I've tried, it just doesn't seem super successful. And
Okay, so
then
that,
she's just like kaput dead.
that brings me to a couple questions. Number
Okay.
one, what role do you want to fulfill in a group?
I like the damage. But I tend to kind of YOLO in quite a bit. But I definitely with her, I like playing the DPS role.
Okay, so you want to be a DPS, okay? And what do you like about your character? You said you love her. What specifically do you like?
Well, I guess for a while, I would say up until probably like December, she was kicking butt. Like she was doing really well. And I could solo, like with her, I could go do everything that I needed. And then I hit Craglorn, and that's when it, fell
Okay.
to pieces. So I really just kind of want her to have a little bit more survivability. But
Okay.
I like the style of play. Like I like that she's kind of like a little bit rogue and
So you like
like
kind of the stamina stealthy thing as a
yes.
Sork. You want some more survivability and you want to do damage.
Yes. So
Okay.
you have your work cut out for you, being that,
Okay, a couple more
she's a hot
questions.
mess.
Well, we'll get it straight. We'll get it straight. What type of content do you do and why?
um, with this particular character,
Yeah.
with her, I mean, I do mostly PvE, but that's
Define PvE.
PvE. I do a lot of questing
You
with
solo.
her. Like yeah, like I do a lot of solo questing because it's hard to meet up with her with people when I'm playing this particular character because it's usually kind of late at night, and I've been
Okay.
playing mostly the Dragon Knight with other people in groups and stuff. But just I don't get to do much PvP with her, and when I do, I die. Like I go there, I'm like dead.
We will make you a ridiculous Sork. So let's get this straight.
All right.
Solo, solo beast mode, you want to survive, doing quest, and basically never die. As a sorcerer, rogue, kind of stealthy, fun.
Yeah,
Why
fun.
why
She's
is that
sneaky.
important to you?
Mostly because just I put a lot of time into her, and I don't want to like go with just like your basic average kind of sork. Like to me, that's just too cookie cutter, and I'd really like to be able to play her to end game, and then be able to like meet up with other people that are say like a 14 and do trials and stuff like that. Because right
Okay.
now, like she's not ready.
Okay. Well, let's basically what I want to do is get a benchmark and see where you're at so we have something we can measure and move on from there. So what we're going to do
Okay.
is stop the video and I want you to get a screenshot of your like just your character picture with your attributes, Munda Stone, all that fun stuff and we're going to go over that.
Okay.
Look at that little Breton sorcerer. Oh, isn't she cute? Stage 3 vampire, got the shadow. Okay. So we want to do stamina. Got a little points of magica. Okay. Got to work on that. Got to work on the little attribute point thing going on here. You're a Breton and you want to play stamina. I have an idea for this.
Okay.
Now, the Shadow Munda Stone got to go. We're also going
Okay.
to get rid of Vamp. You say you're squishy and you like Vamp. You want to play a roguey stealthy thing? We can do both of those things without being a vampire. In fact, we can do it very, very well without being a vampire.
Okay.
Reason being is vampire is probably a huge reason why you're dying, especially leveling. It's either the bane of your existence or it's the best thing ever. Because
Yeah,
when
it
you
was, and it's
when you
not.
hit bats, you're either God mode for 5 seconds but until you get bats back up, you're very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you also need to get to work on your horses, and get that capacity up and that speed up.
It's gonna let me now. It wouldn't before. It was maxed out. Well, my new horse. I have a new horse, so yeah.
New
I'll feed
horsey
it.
parsey.
It's starving to death.
Okay, so tell me about your skills. What kind of skills are you using?
So let's see. So what's on my bar right now? I changed my bars, but for my two-hander bar, I have Mage's Wrath, Brawler,
Okay.
Invigorating Drain, because I've had to feed like when I'm fighting, because I die if I don't.
Okay.
Lightning Flood, Critical Surge, and then on that ultimate I have Dawnbreaker. You can tell I haven't played since 1.6 really on this tune.
It's
So,
okay. It's okay.
um,
You gotta start somewhere.
yeah. And on my bow bar right now, I have a pet, which I don't normally use. Normally I had Mage Light there, but it's got Unstable Clanifer right now, Invigorating Drain, Magnum Shot, Focused Aim, uh, Mage's Guild Volcanic Rune, and Devouring Swarm.
What was your first ultimate?
Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker.
But
Right.
normally I use just bats. But
Bats. You're bat bomb people. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have some good things and some not so good things. Number one is critical surge. That's your most important ability. What bar do you play on primarily? Are you a dual wheel, or you're more of a two-hander in your face type thing, or are you a bow basher?
I'm mostly a bow. Though recently the two-hander seems to be more successful, especially if you get inside a mob when you're in Craglorn. The two-hander was better. Like
Okay.
fighting like a group. But I mostly use the bow.
So 2 points that I see that you can improve on. One, you don't have a whole lot of AoE damage, area damage. You have Brawler. The problem with Brawler is it's kind of like angled. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're not going to get everyone if you have a conal effect. Number two, you're probably relying too much on Magicka for damage. But what we can do, Breton is actually a good brace because what you can do is use your magic for buffs and debuffs and then use your stamina for doing damage. Most important thing that we need to do for you is pump up your critical. Your weapon critical is right now 33%. We need to get that into the 50s because every time you crit, that crit surge is running, baby. You are getting healed to full. You ain't dying. You are not dying with crit surge up. But we got to make sure that you crit a lot. Number one, and number two, I like your Shadow Munda Stone, making sure you hit hard because the harder you hit, the more health back you get. So what I want to do is go to work on making some skills and doing a couple things to see what we can do to improve. But what I want you to do is kind of go to one area, whether it's in Craglorn or whatever, something where we can test out your DPS, whether it's a video or just a screenshot. A really good place is Cardala and Craglorn.
Okay.
That's a delve, and so you have basically a loop that you can do. You can either make a video or you can do a picture of testing your DPS out in there. My little level 6 guy can't really help you. So best thing to do, Mav and I do this all the time. Get another friend, go in there, get a spirit stone, and test your DPS and see where you're at. Now, a
Yep.
couple tricks to that. Do you have Foundry Tactical Combat?
Yep.
Okay. Do you know how to parse DPS or test your DPS on there?
That's actually what I was going to ask because that thing that you built that you pull up, I couldn't figure out how to get that to work.
Okay, let's work on that.
Okay.
So go in game, hit the escape key,
Yep.
go to settings, or I'm sorry, controls, keybinds. And we're going to scroll way down to about middle of my page. It says Foundry Tactical Combat and keybinds.
Okay.
And there's one keybind, display damage meter. Personally, I set this to F5. You just need a keybind. F5 works for me. I don't know what you want to set
Okay.
it to. So you're going to do display, and then you're going to do post, F7.
Okay.
So
Hold on.
did you find
Oh,
it?
what is? No, it doesn't show it. What?
You're in the controls.
Yep. Oh, here it is. No, I'm sorry. It's just tiny. Okay, so post damage results, right? Or
Yep.
damage meter.
Display damage meter. You want to have that as bound to something, some key you're going to
Okay.
remember.
As a primary?
What do you mean by
Or
primary?
it says
Oh, the primary
primary
bind.
bind.
Yeah, don't worry about secondary. Don't worry about that.
Okay. So F5.
And then I do F7 for post damage results.
Okay.
So we can test this out. So for instance, little mud crab right here, all you do is just whap it once.
Do you want me to do that with a?
Yeah, whap it once.
Okay.
Whatever weapon you want. Oh, it,
Oh, did I miss it? Totally miss it. Yeah, because it's
go get
angled.
it. Go get it. See? AoE damage, I'm telling
No,
you.
you're so right.
Okay, so now you can display it by hitting F5. The no damage recorded because it takes long. But did you get some?
Yeah, it says 1,446 total damage.
And there's also, it'll say
Heavy attack.
damage per second. It'll say damage
Yep.
per
Oh,
second.
1446.
1446,
Yes.
okay. So that's kind of what you judge damage per second. Like endgame players judge damage per second on single target damage. Area damage, people can go in and do like 2 abilities and oh my god, get these huge numbers, but really it comes down to one target, how much damage you can do a second. So that's kind of what we're judging on. Now another trick is you can actually post those results in group chat. So if you're with a group and you want to like, oh my god, I'm so good, look at my DPS, kind of what I do all the time. You can hit
Share it.
yeah, you can share and go, look how badass my DPS. I was on Pimp my build with Delta. Oh my god.
Hit my build. All
Okay.
right.
So phase 1 is I want you to do what you're doing. We got a good benchmark, but we need one more piece of data. That one more piece of data is going to Cardala and getting a benchmark of your damage. So,
Okay.
I'm going to show you. Open up your map, and then actually go to Craglorn.
Okay.
So on the map, go to kind of the far west. There's a sky shard in the far west. I'm going to put a group rally point. You see that rally point?
Oh, yeah.
That's
cool.
Cardala.
Okay.
So what you do, get a couple buddies. You're a night owl, so you'll be up all night. Get a couple of buddies. You're gonna go in there, make a loop, get a spirit stone. You're the very first boss that you encounter. It's only one boss. It's a really good place to test your DPS.
Okay.
If you can't figure it out, you can't do it. That's okay. Just try to find something that we can consistently go back to and test and test and test.
Okay.
So it's a good loop to do. It takes about 20, 15 minutes. Hey, you got the sky shirt in there.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So we're going to do that. And then once we get that, then we're going to tear everything apart, bring it back up. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Pin my build.
Came back with 2.
Pin my build. Part 1, baby. Part 2 is we're tearing it down. We're ripping it back up. This is like overhauling a car. All right, Pink. So Nugget Nation stepped up and is going to help out Pink do a DPS test and actually Spindle Clutch. Anomaly, one of the friends of my stream, awesome guy, is going to help her test the damage in the best way possible, which is a Gargoyle boss in Spindle Clutch. They're doing it right now. What I want to do is next video, going to kind of go over that, look at the footage, and then strip down the build and talk about where do we go from here. Phase 3 is going to be putting it back together, equipping that armor, doing another benchmark test, seeing what our stats are, and then seeing the results in another video. It's about 3 parts. This is going to be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to do more Pimp My Builds. Once we get this results posted, I think you guys will like it.